with RefreshColombo September edition. Yeah, we have a couple of guys presentations lined up for the evening, and we actually have a quite a new thing that we are going to test about RefreshColombo registration. Yeah, this is actually a response to what I mentioned last time regarding needing more of a elegant solution for registrations of RefreshColombo, and Arno gracefully came up with a solution. So I think we should start using that to see how things go on. So before we start off with the presentations today, Arno, can you come and explain what it's all about?
Okay, thank you. There's nothing more to tell you because there's a number it's in the cloud. So what you have to do is tell the number, and then you will get a SMS saying asking your email address and Twitter handler. Then you can reply that number your SMS, and then that's it. But then next time when you come to RefreshColombo, what you have to do is just tell this number, and the next time you are coming, this number will be changed. That's it. Okay, thanks.
Okay, that's actually something new. So we see how things go on, and it's quite unfortunate that probably due to the weather and all, we don't have the normal audience today. But anyways, let's just go ahead. First up, for today's the first presentation will be done by Hasanga here. Hasanga will be presenting about Microsoft Office 365, and yeah, we have another very interesting presentation lined up just after that. So Hasanga he will be facing some music, I would say, after his presentation about the Q&A session and all. So anyway, let's go ahead and see.
Alright guys, as you already heard, I'm Hasanga. I'm a software engineer at InnovaTV. So, few facts. Did you know about these facts? About 42% of the medium-sized businesses now uses mobile and for their businesses, says Wall Street Journal. SMB worldwide has brought over 40 million laptops and mobile devices in the last year, and it is expected to grow to a level of 100 million in next 3 years. Nearly 1/3 of the businesses and 42% of mid-sized businesses use cloud computing technology already. So as you can see, size doesn't matter when you move to the cloud. And 34% expect to increase their investments on the cloud computing technology in next few years. So all these facts tells you something. It's about all the businesses are now trying to move to a virtual level where they can ideally work anywhere using the technologies that is available today. So I'm today going to talk about this awesome technology which is called Office 365, which is based on the cloud, known as a collaboration platform and Office Productivity Toolkit, which you can utilize among the organizations to manage your day-to-day tasks as well as to reach your business goals. The components of Office 365 is SharePoint Online, is known as one of the most feature-rich collaboration platform out there, and Exchange Online is working as the email platform, and Link will be the communication provider. That means the web conferencing, the video conferencing, VoIP calls, all sort of things can be handled through the Link. And the Office Professional Plus, which we already know that we use. Of course, the Microsoft users use Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and the power tools such as Visio likewise. So things like that. These are the 4 main components of Office 365, which is offered with the plan. And the idea is to give this all as a service, which is hosted in the cloud, and then to streamline the process of how businesses uses these technologies rather than using different technologies for different tasks. Before we move on to how Office 365 can benefit from, sorry, the SMBs can benefit from Office 365, I would like to just tell you few challenges that the SMBs faces today. Tight budgets. So we all know money matters. So SMBs, as they start, they are starting with very tight budgets. So they have to plan properly what and where they need to spend their money, and every dollar counts for them. Time is money. Even they have enough time to spend on the developing the business, to things like implementing a proper IT infrastructure and developing their own website, the internal portal. Likewise, those things will require time. That means money. And resistance to adopt. SMBs are there. They use technology in big time, but most of the SMBs are resistant to change because there's a fear among the SMBs that say, okay, if you go to this, we are going to go down. So information security nowadays, so many people are talking about information security. Now I heard on Twitter yesterday the SSL is broken, the encryption is broken, so people talk a lot about security, but this also has been a very, what do you say, discussed matter in the SMBs world when they are moving to the IT. The Office 365, what it offers you is the simplicity, availability, and managed costs. Simplicity, by offering the simplicity, what you get is easy deployment, minimal user adoption, minimized maintenance effort, and easy to use administration consoles. Of course, that is a part of the maintenance, and the built-in enterprise level security. Now, if you take a look at these points here, easy deployment is that something that which provides with the Office 365 plan is that within few clicks you can set up your own intranet, extranet, your website, and all your software that you use in your day-to-day business activities. So the user adoption is minimal because it's already using the softwares which are commonly popular, like the Word, Excel, and power tools such as Visio again. Minimize maintenance effort is because now this is on the cloud, so you don't have to have a separate IT staff to actually maintain your infrastructure. Rather than you can easily go to the service provider and say, okay, I need to update this, I need to update this virus guard, I need to get this firewall connected, and then they will all do it for you. And easy to use administration console is like the administration console is designed, even a normal newbie can just log in and set up the users, create their extranet, intranet sites, and then kick off the starts. Enterprise level security. Now the good thing with this is now most of the SMB says that is it secure in the cloud? Well, no technology is perfect. So, well, there can be holes in the security, but SMB, rather than taking a one security expert in-house to plan a security implementation, is always less than 10 software engineers or security engineers plan a security firewall or something in a cloud-based system. So if you take that argument, then yes, cloud is secure than having your personal, rather private system and implement security with just a one security infrastructure guy. And availability, Office 365 offers anywhere access. It's just that you need to have a internet connectivity so that you can connect through the devices that you're using. Now they say that they are supporting almost all the devices like the iPhone, iPad, Android, all of that, but there are some limitations which I have tested also, so they will be implementing those things in the future. And they guarantee 99% 9 uptime guarantee. So that is, if you calculate for a year, it is less than 8 hours downtime. So it's something that I think that you cannot even achieve with your local infrastructure if you implement a local intranet or extranet. managed cost, the plans are fixed price and plans are flexible so that you can scale as you grow. So you can migrate between the plans, which offers different features in your systems. And also if you want new software that needs to be installed in the cloud, that will be done also with few clicks. So if you believe that the businesses can run on the cloud, this is a fairly comic thing where how the SMBs can operate on the cloud. So it's like, let's say you have a advertising firm. So you are the marketing guy. So you go on a client visit and say, okay, you want to do this paper advertisement for us, and you collect your requirements. You use your iPad for that, and you upload that document into SharePoint, and it will automatically send the email to all the managing guys or the sales guys to provide an estimate. And at that point, the people, a task will also be created, and the task will be assigned to people who are responsible. And then when they complete the task, an email will be sent automatically to the client as well as the marketing guy saying the task is completed, estimates are ready. And then the CEO in America, while he is on a roller coaster, he get a SMS saying on the iPhone saying that the estimates are done and we are ready to launch, do this project. And then he can approve using a normal SMS reply, and then it again approves the task which is created in the system. And then the marketing guys or the designers who are responsible of creating the advertisement can just start the work. So it is this thing of working virtually, which you don't really need a office or a workspace, or you don't need to spend on the infrastructure as much as you did before. Now they say that with this technology, the cloud computing is never been easier before like this, because all the tools are simulated, streamlined and connected seamlessly. So as I told you, the SMBs are with tight budgets and they are reluctant to move. But if you are ready to move to the Office 365, then what you should do is you have to identify your requirements and you have to see how Office 365 can help. Now to do that, there's a little bit of effort required. I would suggest ideally for SMB if you can find a consultant who knows in and out about Office 365, and then at least to get some idea of how do you first implement this technology, and then get ready with your Office current infrastructure. That means if you have already bought license for any of the Word or any of the Office packages, that license can be used with these packages so that you don't have to pay again and again for the same software that you want to buy. And then you have to choose the right mix of Office 365, which is, now if you take a look at Office 365, there are three main plans. One is P and P1, E1 and E3. So you have to choose the right mix of these plans and then develop a roadmap for moving forward. Questions?
Discussed about how Office 365 is targeted at the private sector. Is it specifically the objective of Microsoft to target the private sector, or are there any like extensions for the public sector to use cloud computing?
I didn't really get the thing of public and private.
When you take Office 365, it's mainly about Office Productivity, the tools you get.
Yes.
So it can be applied to private sector as well as the public sector.
That's right.
So, but the thing is, when it comes to public sector, there are specific requirements, like level of security. Say level of security.
Right, and so, like customization of your things. Right. Okay. Yes. Now, one of the features is in Office 365 is the extensibility, and we are talking about using these tools in public sector as well as private sector, and then customize it to fit your needs. So that is available with Office 365. Whereas I don't think that I can get too technical here, but it's still, there are things called sandbox solutions that you can deploy in the server and then ask the service providers to update these solutions in the SharePoint environment, and then it will get automatically deployed, and then you will, through normal coding techniques, that you can customize the way the things works and way how look as a.
Just an extension, are there any solutions available such as virtual private clouds?
Virtual private.
In Amazon EC2, there's a.
Yeah, now what happens is when you go and register on Office 365 account, you are given a separate part of the cloud which you can administer yourself, and then it's up to you.
Yeah, when it comes to software service, the probability of data sharing is there. Right.
Oh, you mean the security?
Security.
Right, so the information security.
Yeah.
Right, so that is actually included in their agreements. So what they say is that the information which is stored in their cloud is never shared or never used for any other third-party purposes. And I'm sorry, but I did not go into the detail of the licensings and all of that. But I'm more of focusing on how do you implement Office, and then to help the organization with the tight budgets, how do you overcome the problems, and then efficient implementation of IT rather. Thanks.
Just a question on this.
Yes, sir.
Now, while mentioning about Office 365, you also mentioned that if you already have an Office license, you can use that against
Definitely. Yes.
So is that mean, even though you are going with Office 365, you have to have each component purchased, and it is only simply you are using the cloud to share the information?
Actually, what happens is when you register for an Office 365 account, it's about $4 a month per user. It's less than a coffee at Barista. So what happens is you are given an account which you can download all these softwares through that. So that includes all these Office packages, Word, Microsoft Excel, whatever the things that you use, so that you can use it
including link, SharePoint?
Yes, sir. Everything is there. It's just that things, and also, now let's say that you are on a Linux environment, that you don't have or can't install Office software, then you will be given a web interface that you can have almost all the features that you are given with the standalone applications as well, so that you can log in through your iPads, Linux-based environments, and then do the same tasks without having to worry about anything.
Thank you.
Any more questions?
If I put Office 365 against, let's say, Google Apps, what
Right.
do I get more?
Right. This is a question I prepared earlier. Right. Now, talking with Office 365, comparing Office 365 and Google Apps is like you are trying to compare apples and oranges, because as I can see, Office 365 is having various features which are drastically different from Google Apps. Now, I know when you say Google Apps, what comes to your mind is the Word, spreadsheets, likewise. And when you say Office 365, what comes to you is Word, Excel. But Office 365 is so much more than that. And I know Google Docs is, Google for Business is a great product, and I also use it personally. And but the one fact that I saw in Office 365, which is a good thing for the businesses, is the ability to expand and customize. Now, it's amazing that even though you are part of cloud, how much customization that you can go deep into the Office 365, which that feature is, I don't recall, is available on Google Apps, even though you are a business user on the Google Apps. Actually, there's a nice article on that. I will tweet it just after this one so that you can take a look at it. So, any more questions?
How Office 365 handles is personal files, personal work rather than office work. Let me put it a little bit different.
Right.
Let me say if I have office in my computer, which may be office computer, I have this flexibility of working on my own personal files as well, which is handled only by me, available only for me.
Right.
How that works?
Now, yeah, that's a good question. Now, what happens is when you have a standalone computer, whatever the data that's stored in the computer is visible to you. Even if you are the IT administrator, till you go into the systems, and look into the files, you don't know what they are doing. So what happens is in Office 365, all the things are stored in the cloud. And if you are the administrator, then you will see all the files is stored in the systems.
Does that mean an IT administrator can even see CEO's files?
Your personal stuff, yes. I mean, in any organization, IT administrator can see your files, unless you use a specific password or some gloomy logic to hide these things. Any IT administrator can see your files. So it's there in the Office 365 as well. Now, the one thing good in Office 365 is that you can put rules into your files. If it contains this type of content, then categorize in this way. And if it contains pornography, then categorize it like this way. So that means with that, you can actually filter your documents and the files. And then, yes. And the thing is now, see, this is the thing. Now, when we talk about Office 365, it is not about files. It's about a total IT implementation from A to Z, from company start to end, full streamlining of process. It's like when you upload a document, you get an email, and it creates a task for you. If that's a meeting, then it creates a meeting, and it sends an email to email attendees, and then reminders. Just like 30 minutes before the meeting, they remind the attending, and if the meeting requires a meeting space, let's say RefreshColombo, it sends an email to the person who is responsible for booking the venue, right? Likewise, so it's a thing of fully automated service. Actually, any more questions? Yes, sir.
So, basically, like in certain countries, there are regulations that their data, the data that is produced inside their country should only be stored within their country.
Yes.
So, in such situations, how
Right.
this basically cater the solution?
Right. So right now, Microsoft data centers are, well, almost all the regions in the world. And but still, countries like China, Vietnam, they have the regulations where they say that they cannot store data. But if you go to the Office account panel, you see a drop down of countries, the list of countries. So those countries who are not available in the proper legal infrastructure, they are not available in the country, which is simply cannot help, because we are talking about a cloud which you can use while your boss is in America and your marketing guy in Australia and you are in Sri Lanka at your home. So if you cannot store data, right, and then there's no way that you can connect. It's I'm sorry. But I heard that they have plans to implement data centers within China, because China is one of the fast-growing economy in the world, and well, it is the most fast-growing. So, any more questions? Actually, there's so much that you can talk within 25 minutes time. But I suggest you give it a try. It's just that you go into their site, fill your details, and you will get an Office 365 account created within about, I don't know, 5 minutes, and you are ready to go, because they offer a trial period which you can use for 30 days. So I'm talking here within 30 minutes. There's so much more that you can learn yourself within 30 days about Office 365. If you need help, you can always ping me on Twitter or anything. I'm always ready to help. So give it a try today. Office 365 is economically friendly. Say goodbye to complexity of handling your IT infrastructure, your in-house security, the network, all sort of things. Execute with speed, because you are accessible through anywhere with any devices, and remain flexible, because you can scale as you grow. if you need more accounts created with Office 365, it's just a matter of few clicks. And importance of security and reliability also packed up with this solution. You can read this. Are we sharing these slides somewhere? This slide? Okay, so I can share this slide so you can read more about Office 365 here. And follow the Office 365 on Twitter. It's the most prominent place that you can get data on Office 365 is hashtag Office 365 and O365. And if you want to follow me on Twitter, it's Hasanga. Thank you very much, guys. Have a great evening ahead.